history of basketball began with its invention in 1981 in Springfield, Massachusetts by a Canadian physical education instructor named James Naismith as a less injury-prone sport than a football. Naismith was a 31-year-old graduate student when he created the indoor sports to keep athletes indoors during the winters. The game began established fairly quickly and grew very popular as the 20th century progressed, first in America and then in the other parts of the world. After basketball became established in American colleges, the professional game followed. The American National Basketball Association, or known as the NBA, established in 1946, grew to a multi-billion-dollar enterprise by the end of the century, and basketball became an integral part of the American cultures.
A traditional basketball team has 12 players, with 5 basketball players on the court at any given time. Unlimited substitution allowed. The 5 players can be segregated into the following positions. First, point guard. Usually players with the best ball handling skills and vision in the team play as point guards. A point guard's primary role is to orchestrate both offensive and defensive plays and set up scoring opportunities for teammates. Next, shooting guard, typically the best long-range and mid-range shooter in the team. Player patrolling the position constantly look for 3-pointers or can help drag defenders out wide to create space near the basket for their teammates. Small forward playing as a short forward needs a versatile skill set. It requires strength and a height as well as speed and dribbling abilities. Mid-range and short-range shooting abilities are also important. A power forward is usually a foil for the center and are the team's most dependable scorers from inside the paint. Center. Usually the tallest player in the team, a center is required to occupy the space nearest to the basket in both halves. The CRUZ chief is the lead referee and acts as a captain for the group. A basketball referee or ref is the official who enforces the rules of the game. There are several sports officials in the game of basketball, including scorers and timekeepers, but the referee maintains fair play according to the basketball rule books. Replay center. He or she, there are 4 female NBA referees, is just not in the area. Is not just in arena. Instead, the 4th official is the NBA. Replay Center is Sekauskus, a 6-year-old facility that is part of the league efforts to use modern technology to quickly review and then amend play calls when needed. The team bench areas are marked outside the playing court limited by 2 lines. There must be 14 seats available in the team bench area for the team bench personnel, which includes coaches, assistant coaches, substitutes, excluded players, and team followers. Any other persons must be at least 2 meters behind the team bench. The inner edge of the midpoint of the end line is 1.575 meters. The arc is joined the parallel lines. The 3-point line is not part of the 3-point field goal area.
And now let us discuss the equipment that will be used in playing basketball. So basketball is a simple game. It doesn't require any equipment other than a hoop, a ball, and a flat court. Even 2 players can play and have fun with basketball. The first equipment is basket. It is a hoop or basket with net around its circumference and of 18-inch diameter is firmly hung horizontally from a rectangular backboard of 3.5 feet height and 6 feet width on either sides of court. The rim of the hoop is 10 feet above the ground, and the backboard in various international competitions is transparent for better visibility. The second equipment is basketball. Basketball is an orange-colored and rough-textured spiral ball with black contours, usually made of leather or composite tough material. A ball is bounced, continuously dribbling, thrown through the air to other players, passing and towards the basket or shooting. So a typical basketball must be very durable and easy to hold on. Third equipment is basketball shoes. Equipment that is no less important is basketball shoes. The thing that distinguishes basketball shoes from other shoes is their shape, which is slightly higher at the ankle, which aims to protect the ankle from the risk of an ankle injury. Then the sole or base of the shoe is also made with anti-slip materials for use on the field because basketball game pattern, which consists of running and jumping movements, requires anti-slip shoes and helps the said movement. Next equipment is playing uniforms. Each basketball player from each team must wear a uniform so that when the game takes place, there will be a difference between teammates and opponents. Besides, that uniform will also make the team more solid and look attractive when playing. Generally, a basketball uniforms do not have sleeves on the shirt and the length of the pants is only up to the knees, all of which aims to facilitate the player's movement. The next equipment is basket rings. The basket consists of ring and a net. The rings were made of hard iron and the diameter of the rings was 45 centimeters. The ring height is 305 centimeters from the floor surface and installed on the surface of the basketball board with the distance of 15 centimeters. Meanwhile, the net is hung from the ring with a net length of 40 centimeters. The basketball board is made of 3 cm thick wood or a suitable transparent material such as acrylic or plastic glass. The basketball board is 180 centimeters long and 120 centimeters wide. The board is 275 centimeters The board is 275 centimeters high from the floor surface to the bottom of the board and is 120 centimeters perpendicular to the distance from the centimeter point of the finish line of the court. Basketball court is a rectangle with dimensions of 25 centimeters.
Good day everyone, my name is ROVELYN C. BARDOC, a BEds2 student, and today I am going to discuss the basketball rules and regulations.
Basketball is a team sport. Two teams of 5 players each try to score by shooting a ball through a hoop elevated 10 feet above the ground. The game is played on a rectangular floor called the court, and there is a hoop at each end. The court is divided into 2 main sections with a mid-court line. If the offensive team puts the ball into play behind the mid-court line, it has 8 seconds to get the ball over the mid-court line. If it doesn't, then the defense gets the ball. Once the offensive team gets the ball over the mid-court line, it can no longer have possession of the ball in the area behind the mid-court line. If it doesn't, the defense is awarded the ball. The ball is moved down in the court toward the basket by passing or dribbling. The team with the ball is called the offense. The team without the ball is called the defense. The defense tries to steal the ball, contest shots, deflect passes, and garner rebounds. When a team makes a basket, they score 2 points and the ball goes to the other team. If a basket or a field goal is made outside of the 3-point arc, then that basket is worth 3 points. A free throw is worth 1 point. If the score is tied at the end of regulation, then overtime periods of Various lengths are played until a winner emerges. Each team is assigned a basket or goal to defend. This means that the other basket is their scoring basket. At halftime, the team switch goals. The game begins with tip-off.
Personal fouls occur when a player commits illegal contact against another player. In his space, then it's called an offensive foul against the attacker. If a defender makes contact with an attacker in his space, then it's called a defensive foul against the defender. Any foul in the act of shooting results in free throws being awarded to the attacking team. 2 shots for fouls inside the arc and 3 shots for fouls outside the arc. If the shot went in and the shooter was fouled, the points they scored count and they are awarded 1 extra shot. Flagrant fouls. Flagrant fouls are severe fouls that occur when a player has made violent contact against another player. This always results in the other team being awarded 2 free throws. Technical foul. Technical fouls are fouls that don't fit the description of either a personal or flagrant foul. Technical fouls can be awarded for fighting, unsportsmanlike conduct, or abuse from players and coaches against referees. 2 technical fouls equals an automatic ejection from the game. Any team that commits 5 or more fouls in any quarter will have 3 throws awarded against them per subsequent foul. And any one player who has racked up 5 fouls internationally or 6 fouls in the NBA is fouled out and can no longer participate in the rest of the game. Double dribble. In basketball, you're only allowed to dribble the ball and stop once. If a player then begins to dribble again, this is known as double dribble and the ball is awarded to the other team. Travelling. If a player takes too many steps without dribbling the ball, this is travelling.
Two forward, 2 guard, and the center.
Let us learn the basic skills of basketball. So we have here the basic skills of basketball, which are the dribbling, the passing, shooting, and running. So these techniques of playing basketball is essential because it helps the player to trick the opponents in order to win. So first, let us have the dribbling. Dribbling is an important skill for all basketball players. It allows the player to move up and down into the court. Next, we have here the shooting. Shooting, in order to score points in playing basketball, of course, you need to shoot the ball into the hoop. Next, we have the running. Running is a big part of playing basketball. In a full court game, you will find yourself running back and forth into the court. Next, we have the passing. So, we know that playing basketball is a team sport that involves finding a teammate who is open, ready to shoot. So we have here the basic tips for beginners in passing the ball for them. We have here the spacing. So you should know the optimal distance for you to pass the ball into your teammate. Next, we have here the make the ball pass. So in playing basketball, you don't need to be so flashy. If you find somebody, your teammate who is ready to shoot, is open to ready to shoot, so make the ball pass to them. Next, we have the advanced passers. So the baseball pass, the dribble pass, the behind the back pass, and the pick and roll pass. So that.
Let's talk about officiating basketball. The officials in basketball or in any games is important because they play an important role in a game. The officials are the one officiating the game. They are the one to ensure that the game is good, fair, and equal. They are responsible for spotting rules and violations and enforcing the appropriate penalties in basketball. The officials keep the game under control, and keep track of scoring. That is why they are really important to have in a game. The role of the officials is to ensure the game is played in a fair and safe manner and within the rules. Referees is the most physical active as they are on court and call the game. Other officials perform various roles on the scortable and statistics. Most sports have a referee or umpire whose role is to ensure that the game is played according to the rules. The role of the basketball referee is exactly to ensure the game is played safely and fairly. In basketball, it is the scortable officials that keep the score and time. Scortable officials work as a team with the referees to maintain the scoring and timekeeping of the game. The basic duties of each scortable position are: we have chairperson. Chairperson ensure the smooth operation on the scortable and communicates with the referees. Second are the scorer. It completes the score sheet. Assistant scorer. This position is not always required, but when present will assist with operating the scoreboard. Timekeeper. The timekeeper operates the game clock and in most situations also operate the scoreboard. And lastly, we have 24-second shot clock operator. They operate the shot clock by stopping and resetting according to the rules. The role of the statistician is to record all aspects of the game, which is now usually done on a computer, tablet, or smartphone, or manually with a paper template. During a competitive game of basketball, there are two referees, a scorekeeper, timekeeper, and a shot clock operator. To ensure that everybody is aware of a decision made, the referees perform a series of hand and arm signals. The next reporters will show or demonstrate the hand signals and body conditioning.
So now we will discuss about the hand signal in basketball. First, traveling. When the ball handler takes the many step without dribbling the basketball, the referee will blow the whistle and call a traveling violation. This will result in offensive team losing possession of the ball to turnover. The traveling signal is made by the referee by making a rolling spinning motion with both of his arms. Next, 5-second violation. When a team is trying to inbound the basketball, they have 5 seconds to do so. If the inbounder takes more than 5 seconds, the referee will blow the whistle. He will then stick out 5 fingers to signal the 5-second violation. Next, a double dribble. When the ball handler dribbles with both hands at the same time, that is a double dribble and will result in a turnover for the offense. A ball dribble also occurs when the ball handler picks up his dribble but then tries to dribble again afterward. The referee signal for a illegal dribble is to do so a dribbling motion with both of his hands. Next, 10 seconds violation. After a team inbound the ball, they are given 10 seconds to get the ball past half court. If it takes them longer than 10 seconds, the referee will blow the play dead and call a 10 seconds violation. The signal for the 10-second violation is simply put 10 fingers up. Next, carrying plumbing. This is called much by officials in college basketball or the NBA, but it is called quite a bit during young kids games. Carrying happens when the ball handler either plums the ball or tries to scoop under net it instead of dribbling correctly. The penalty for the carrying result is turnover for the offense. Next, kicking. It means when an offensive player kicks the ball on purpose, the play is blown dead and the referee awards position of defense by allowing them an out-of-bounds throw-in. To call a kicking violation, the official simply does a kicking motion with one of his feet. Next, over and back. It means once the offensive team crosses the mid-court line, they are not allowed to go back across it. If they do, the referee will blow the whistle and call an over-back violation. This will result in a loss of position for the offensive team. Next, 3 seconds violation. It means an offensive player can only be in a paint for less than 3 seconds. If he stay in the paint for a full 3 seconds, they play is a blow dead and the offense must forfeit position for the ball. To make the signal for a 3 seconds violation, the referee will put 3 fingers on up both hands and keep one arm high and one arm low. Next, hand check. When a defender limits an offensive player with his hand, a hand check call is made by the official. The signal is an open hand in their air while the other hand grabs the wrist. Next, charging foul. It means when the ball handler runs over a defender who has set his feet and has established position, the referee will call charging foul. This will result in a turnover and will count as a personal foul to the offensive player. It will also count against the number of team fouls and may result in free throw if the team is over the limit. To make the charging call, the official simply put his hand on his back and stick out his.
Holding. A defender cannot hold an offensive player. If he does, a holding call will be made. To signal holding, the referee holds his wrist. This results in a personal foul on the defender. Next is the intentional foul. If an official deems that a defensive player fouls an offensive player on a purpose, an intentional foul is called. This is usually done by a team near of the game with the hopes of extending the game by stopping the clock. To make the intentional foul signal, the referee raises both arms over his head and touches his wrist together. Blocking. When a defensive player stands in the way of the ball handler's path to the basket without setting his feet, a blocking foul can be called. If a blocking foul is called, the ball handler will get free throws if his team is in the bonus. If the team isn't in the bonus, the ball will be taken out of bounds from the sideline. To make the blocking call, the official will put both of his hands on his hips. Technical foul are usually issued for unsportsmanlike conduct. You may have noticed a referee teeing up a coach who yelled too many curse words at him for a bad call. Technical fouls are also called on players who are fighting on the court. To signal a technical foul, the referee simply makes a T with his hands. Similar to timeout signal when a technical foul is called. The opposing team gets awarded with 1 free throw attempts and possession of the ball. Pushing. Pushing is usually called when a lost ball foul occurs. To gain possessions, one player may push another player out of the way. This counts as a personal foul and a loss of possession. The referee makes a shoving motion with his arms to signal a pushing foul. Jump ball. When opposing players have their hands on the ball at the same time, a jump ball is called. When a jump ball is called, those two players have to perform the jump ball to decide position or officials will use the position arrow to determine who gets the ball. This all depends on what league you are watching. The referee signals jump ball by giving two thumbs up sign. No score. When the shooter makes a basket but is fouled, the referee must determine if the foul occurred during the act of shooting. If the shooter was not in the act of shooting, the basket does not count. To signal that the shoot does not count, the official waves his arms in a fashion that is similar to the field goal is no good sign in football. 30-second timeout. When a team calls a 30-second timeout, the referee lets the scorer's table know by both of his hands to his shoulders. Start clock. When the official is ready to start the clock, he raises one hand up and then lowers it slowly. Stop clock. When the referee wants to stop the clock, he raises one hand and keeps it there. 3-point attempt. To let the score stable, know that a player has attempted a 3-point shot, the official will hold up 3 fingers. 3-point score. When a player hits a 3-pointer, the referee will raise both hands to signal that it was a successful 3-point shot.
Hello everyone, I am FRUSIA CRUZ and I will be discussing basketball conditioning drills and workouts for the individual athletes wanting to get in great shape. As a basketball player, there are certain things you don't have much control over too. You don't control your teammates, you don't control your coaches, and you certainly don't control your officials. However, you can control how much work you put into your game and your basketball conditioning. You can put in the time practicing free throws, dribbling drills, and improving your condition. So what does basketball conditioning mean? Being in shape is essential to be able to perform well in sports. But being in cross-country shape isn't the same thing as being in basketball shape. To be in basketball shape, you have to have endurance and repeat short bursts of running and shuffling down the floor. Here we have several different drills to work on your basketball conditioning. Conditioning or cardio drills with a basketball. One example of conditioning and cardio drills with a basketball is a full court dribbling and layup drill. The full court layup drill is exactly what it sounds like. You will start at the baseline and dribble the length of the court and shoot a layup. Then you will grab your rebound and shoot a layup at the other end of the floor. You can continue circling the court this way until you make a certain number of layups for a set of time limit. You can turn almost any skill drill into a conditioning drill by running between reps or going full speed. These drills will help you get in great basketball shape, but they will also help you improve ball handling or shooting. Running drills. Next, let's talk about some running drills that you can do to get in great shape for basketball. When it comes to running drills, you want to keep in mind that intervals can help you get into basketball shape. One example of a running drill is minute sideline sprint. One common basketball conditioning drill is sideline sprint. This exercise requires you to run from sideline to sideline as many times as you can in 1 minute. With this exercise, some people have a specific number of times you have to hit the sideline, like 17. But if you can't quite reach this number right away, you can start lower and work up to 17. These drills are beneficial because they can help you get in game shape. You are building up your endurance with these drills, but you are also working on changing direction and stopping and starting, which will happen during the game. That is my report. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is BELANDO and this is for the continuation of our video report about basketball. So, I am going to discuss with you all about the important terminology of sports according to basketball terms. Okay, are you ready everyone? Okay, let's get started. The first one is personal fouls. Personal fouls, this refers to the fouls caused by a common segment of contact with an opponent player. In other words, in basketball, a personal foul is a breach of the rules that concerns illegal personal contact with an opponent. It is the most common type of foul in basketball. A player fouls out on reaching a limit on personal fouls for the game and is disqualified from the participation in the remainder of the game. So, let's remember that in personal fouls, there is two major types. What are these two? Okay? So, these are two major types. The first one is offensive and defensive. Okay? What is these two major types means? So, let's discuss first what is an offensive. Okay, an offensive or offense is your method to score baskets and get open shots against your opponent. Most coaches consider their offense to be a continuous motion or a play that can be run over and over again. So that's it with the offensive. How about defensive? So let's discuss what is a defensive. Okay? In basketball, defensive is playing defense means trying to stop your opponent from scoring, of course. The rules of basketball spell out how and under what circumstances the defense can attempt to stop offensive players. The majority of personal fouls are called over illegal contact by defenders. Okay. And also, let's remember that in these two major types of personal fouls that I have mentioned, these include charging, holding, tripping, elbowing, and blocking. The next one is technical fouls. This refers to the fouls displaying a lack of sportsperson spirit. There is an inclusion of ill behaviors and poor conduct during the game. This also includes aggressiveness against opponents, coaches, referees, and etc. The next one is free throws. What is a free throws? Okay, these are also known as foul shots. This is for the opposite team when the members of their opponent team commit a foul. These are also given out after technical fouls or when the foul conducting team enters the bonus or penalty situation. The player has to shoot from a 15-foot free throw line. So that's it with. The next one is double dribble foul. Okay, this takes place either when a player dribbles the ball using both their hands or when a player stops to dribble and then starts to dribble again. So the last one is layup shot. Okay, what is this layup shot? Okay, when a shot occurs from very near to the hoop, occurring usually when a player moves towards the basket. And that's all for today. And that's all with my report regarding the important terminologies in basketball. Thank you and God bless.